Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Third Eye Media. So this current affairs is related to March 26th. First topic, employment scenario in India grim, says ILO report. The share of those with secondary or higher education among the unemployed youth in India has almost doubled from 35.2% in 2000 to 65.7% in 2022 according to the India Employment Report 2024 released by the International Labour Organization and the Institute of Human Development on Tuesday. The labor force participation rate, worker population ratio and unemployment rate showed a long-term deterioration from 2000 and 2018 but witnessed an improvement after 2019, the study said. So we can see the figures here very clear. Labor participation for various sections increased slightly in 2022 but was still low versus 2000. So we can see here, so this red mark is related to 2022. So we can see that rural participation has been a little bit constant still. So actually it has been decreased when compared to the previous years. It has been decreased. There is a decrease. Next, catastrophic collapse. The Francis Scott Key Bridge over the Patapsco River at Baltimore in the US caved in after a cargo vessel with an all-Indian crew Dhali crashed into it on Tuesday. Rescuers were looking for at least 7 persons who had gone missing. So actually this cargo ship or cargo vessel got hit to a bridge, which is nothing but a bridge which is actually found over ocean or sea. Now most of the 7 persons have been most of the at least 7 persons who had gone missing in it. Next, sensing China threat, India joins race to mine sea pitch. Earlier this month, India had applied to the International Seabed Authority, Jamaica, for rights to explore 2 vast tracts in the Indian Ocean seabed that are not part of its jurisdiction. The application to explore one of these regions, a cobalt-rich crust long known as the Afnasi-Nikitin Seamount (AN Seamount), is a gambit by India. So rights to the region have already been claimed by Sri Lanka under a separate set of laws. The Hindu has learned. But India's application is part motivated by reports of Chinese vessels undertaking reconnaissance in the same region. A highly placed official who declined to be identified conformed to the Hindu. The AN Seamount is a structural feature 400 km long and 150 km wide in the central Indian basin, located about 3000 km off India's coast. From an oceanic depth of about 4800 km, it rises about 1200 meters and is rich in deposits of cobalt, nickel, manganese and copper. Matsya 6000, a deep sea exploration vehicle being designed by the National Institute of Ocean Technology in Chennai. So to explore this particular region, Matsya 6000 has been developed by the National Institute of Ocean Technology. Next, Supreme Court raises concerns over the rich gagging media. Courts must tread cautiously while granting pre-trial interim injunctions, the bench said, advising judges to follow the threefold test to decide on such interventions before a full-fledged trial. The Supreme Court has highlighted the problem of the affluent getting pre-trial injunctions from courts against the media and civil society, gagging free speech and the public rights to information about important affairs. The bench drew the spotlight on the phenomenon of slap suits or strategic litigation against public participation gaining attention across jurisdictions. It is an umbrella term used to refer to litigation predominantly initiated by the entities that wield immense economic power against members of the media or civil society to prevent the public from knowing about or participating in important affairs in the public interest, the court noted. Constitutional mandate of protecting journalistic expression cannot be understated, and courts must treat cautiously while granting pre-trial interim injunctions. It's all about a media thing. So something, if you are trying to publish a content in social media, whether it is correct or not, whether it's a true content, so without actually going and verifying whether the content is true or not, most of the courts are initiating this interim injunctions and asking them to remove the content before it is getting published. So Supreme Court Chief Justice is saying that we should not be doing in such a manner, because it might actually prevent people from knowing the reality of the current affairs or important matters. Next, Nirmala Sitaram, Jairam Ramesh squabble over Atal Pension Yojana. So basically, this defense minister and this person is actually colliding over the campaign. So basically, Lok Sabha elections are going on, right? So going to be held. So for this purpose, each party is actually trying to defame another party based upon their pensions or schemes, based upon their schemes. So let's just understand what is Atal Pension Yojana here. Atal Pension Yojana, a pension scheme for citizens of India, is focused on the unorganized sector workers. It is basically for unorganized sector workers. Under the APY, guaranteed minimum pension of rupees 1000 or 2000 or 3000 or 4000 or 5000 per month will be given at the age of 60 years, depending on the contributions by the subscribers. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaram and Congress General Secretary Jairam Ramesh got into a war of words over the Atal Pension Yojana after Mr. Ramesh termed the scheme designed poorly. Next, India supports Philippines sovereignty, says Jaishankar, sparks Beijing response. External Affairs Minister Manila visit comes, tensions between Philippines and Chinese navies rose to new levels. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs says maritime disputes are matters between countries concerned and third parties have no right to interfere in the South China Sea issue. So here third party, they are referring third party as India. India supports the Philippines sovereignty, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said in Manila. In comments that sparked a response from the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which called on third parties not to interfere. Mr. Jaishankar's visit to Manila on Tuesday, where he met Philippines President Bongbong Marcos and Foreign Minister Enrique Manolo, as part of three-nation 5-day tour to Singapore, Philippines and Malaysia. He said that the 1982 UN, Mr. Jaishankar said that the 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Seas, UN clause, was the constitution of the seas and all parties must adhere to it in its entirety, both in letter and in spirit. In comments, Seen has aimed at China, whose Navy and Coast Guard have been frequently accused of violating sovereign waters of other countries and claiming islands. China's actions have drawn protest from many Asian neighbors, including the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia in the South China Sea region. The External Affairs Minister also visited the Indian Coast Guard pollution control ship ICGS Samudra Paharedar on Tuesday, which is on a port call in Manila until Thursday, and held maritime cooperation between the two countries. Apart from the current controversy, Beijing is understood to be watching India's sale of BrahMos missiles to the Philippines very closely, deliveries for which are expected to begin shortly. Next, crew of Baltimore ship were all Indians. So this is the ship which actually got collided with the bridge. The entire 22-member crew of the cargo ship that struck a major bridge in Baltimore in the US early on Tuesday, causing it to snap and plunge into the river, are Indians who alerted authorities about a power issue before the collision. So there was a power issue before the collision. Even the video is actually surfing in the Instagram. If you are willing to watch, then go and just watch that video. Actually, it's a small snippet where actually what happened before the collision of the ship took place. The Singapore flagged container ship Dhali collided with one of the pillars of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore at approximately 1:30 a.m. local time. According to the vessel information provided by the Synergy Marine Group, the crew was all Indian, 22 in total. All crew members, including the two pilots, have been accounted for and there are no reports of any injuries. There has been no pollution. So that's all for the day. So that's all about this particular day. So thanks for watching. I hope you are enjoying. So please don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.